Hey everybody, I'm back in Chris's kitchen, my kitchen, and today I'm going to go out to the grill and prepare what may be the tastiest beef you'll put on the grill. Beef short ribs. Stand by. These leftover charcoal bits will be used to light one end of the slow and sear with charcoal that will last for a 6-hour cook. The charcoal grate has new foil to catch drippings from the short ribs to keep the bottom of the grill clean, and there's about 5 briquettes added to the top of the chimney with the old charcoal underneath. That will be dumped into one end of the slow and sear to light the remaining charcoal for the 6-hour cook. I'm talking about these guys right here with the 1, 2, 3, 4 bones. They're coming from Grandson's Market here in New Braunfels, Texas. And I have the kosher salt, ground black pepper, the roasted garlic, and some celery seed that is going to go on for seasoning today. But first, we got some trimming to do. Okay, the main thing I want to do is remove a little of the fat that's on here. And you can see this looks like it's different from fat over here. This is that little bit of silver skin. Just going to go as easy as I can on the silver skin area. Kind of try to get off a lot of this fat that's on here. Let's get to work. Now I'm just using a paring knife. I like to make a little cut, pick up the flap, and just kind of pull back as I go, trying to get fat and not my meat. Okay, I've turned it at 90 degrees so I can get a better angle on this edge right here. And you can see I'm barely getting meat, mostly fat off of here. And that layer of silver skin is coming off really good. And it helps that this was actually pulled out of the freezer last night. It's been sitting in the refrigerator all night long. And that extra chill from the freezer actually helps it cut these fine cuts of just the silver skin much easier than if this was at room temperature. And this is the setup. The coals that were in the chimney earlier are now on one end and lit. There's a couple of wood chunks for smoke. The unlit coals will go on top of those wood chunks from the lit coals to the opposite end. The short ribs are now trimmed for silver skin and fat with all the trimmings off to one side. I put a little olive oil on there for a binder so to make the seasoning stick. And we're going to start with our kosher salt. And some black pepper, freshly cracked. Some of the roasted garlic. And the celery seed. Thank you, Mr. Harry Sue. Stuff adds another level to your barbecue flavor. Okay, now that I've got my beef short ribs properly seasoned on the top and across the sides, the bottom basically is nothing but membrane. Now I'm not going to get any seasoning penetration there, so I'm just going to leave it as is. My grill's coming up. I'm going to take these and set them right here on a small plate. All that leftover seasoning that's right there, if you watch my videos, you'll know that my trimmings get put onto the grill and they go to my dog for dog treats. And I'm just going to take my trimmings and just kind of rub them around here in the excess seasoning, and that'll give it mainly a salt and pepper flavor. And my beef short ribs are ready to go on the grill. The Weber was kind of made for beef short ribs. The leftover space after your indirect cook is a perfect spot to center your ribs right there. And my trimmings for my dog are going to go right next to it. So we have dog food, people food, dog food, people food, dog food. First 20 minutes in, and it is up to 350. I went ahead and cranked it down to about halfway on top and halfway on the bottom. Check it again in 20 minutes. Okay, I'm at my next check after about 20 minutes, and I'm at a dome temperature now of about 275, which should give me my grill temperature, grate temperature I should say, of about 250 or so, which is where I want to be. Okay, we're about 2 hours in, temperature's holding well. I'm going to take a first peek, and everything is looking good. The charcoal's burning nice and slow and holding a good 250. Bark is setting up, and you can see some of the juices are settling on top there. And even the dog treats are looking okay. And there's even some pullback from the bone. All right. Okay, I'm just under 3.5 hours in. Gonna go ahead and give a little test on the old thermometer here. Still plenty of resistance. I got plenty of ways to go. $154. Let it go a little while longer, then I'm going to wrap and let it get nice and tender. And that's what you do with those little offcuts. All those little trimmed up parts. Doggy treats. Okay, this one is going to be a foil wrap, and I am ready to get it going, so let's make it happen. The bones are pulled back nicely. I got plenty of juice on top there, so I'm going to have a nice bunch of drippings in there. It's going to keep my beef ribs nice and moist as they stay wrapped for at least another hour. Okay, let's close the lid down and just let it go for at least another hour, nice and wrapped up. Somebody's waiting. Daily, come on. Treats all along the way. Salt, pepper, and the roasted garlic and celery seed for the seasonings. About 4.5 hours unwrapped at 275 on average, and then the last hour and a half wrapped in foil. Plenty of juice, lots of moisture, and very tender. But doesn't mean anything if it doesn't taste good. That just fell right off the bone. Back on me. And that is good. And my dog even likes her treats. Daily. Come on. No complaints anywhere. Please like and subscribe, and give me a comment down in the comments. I really appreciate you stopping by the channel. Thanks.